Okay, I'm doing this video to give you a much simpler way to solve for arc length and area of a sector, both of these being for a circle. The way your Khan Academy assignments are graded are all the videos are one grade, and then all of the practice assignments are another grade. So if you fail all your practice assignments, then you're going to have a failing grade go in the grade book, and that's not what we want when this topic is really easy. So the two things that I absolutely need to find the arc length are the angle and the circumference. As long as they give me the radius of the circle, I can find the circumference. And the same thing happens with the area of the circle. So the area of a sector is just the piece of the pi, which represents some of the circle, not all of it. So we're creating a fraction, and that should be equal to the same ratio as the angle, the central angle over 360. All right, so let's do arc length first. The arc length, I do not know, so that's going to stay x. All right, the circumference, remember, you can find by doing 2 times pi times r. So 2 times my radius in this circle is 5. 2 times 5 is 10, and I'm going to leave it in terms of pi so that I can solve. All right, that's arc length over circumference. I just set up that part of the fraction. Now on the other side, I just need to put the central angle over 360. And it has to be the central angle for the arc that you're trying to find. So if they don't give you this angle, but they give you this angle, then of course you're going to have to subtract from 360 to find it. In this example, they gave it to me, so they made it easy. So I'll put 60, and 360 is always on the bottom because that's for a full circle. And so we all know how to solve this. We cross multiply. So that would be 360x equals 600 pi. That's 60 times 10 is 600 pi. And then to get x by itself, I'll divide by 360. So in Khan Academy, they ask for your answer either as a rounded decimal or in terms of pi. And I want you to keep your answer in terms of pi because that's how it will show up on your test when we get a chance to do it in USA Test Prep. So I'm simplifying this fraction. And so 12, I think, is the biggest number that will go into both of these. So 12 goes into 60 5 times. And then 12 goes into 36 3 times. So that's my simplified fraction. And then pi is to the side of that fraction. Now, if you wanted to write it as one fraction, pi would be on the top. This is my arc length. And since the radius was measured in inches, then that means this would be in inches as well, the units. So inches. All right, the area of a sector is done much the same way. So I don't know AOS, so I'm going to write X. The area of the circle formula is pi r squared. So I have to take this number, which is my radius, and square it, which would give me 25 pi. That's going to be equal to that angle over 360, which we've already found it to be 60 over 360. And for simplification, for multiplication, since I'm not using a calculator here, I'm going to go ahead and simplify 60 over 360. So I would cross this out, and then this would simplify to 1 over 6. So since I'm not using a calculator, I'm doing this in my head. I want the numbers to be smaller. So I just simplified that fraction of 60 over 360. You do not have to do that. If you have a calculator, you can just go ahead and cross multiply like we did the first time. All right, so when I cross multiply here, I will get 6 times x is 6x, and 25 pi times 1 will give me 25 pi. And remember our variable here is x. So I'm trying to get x by itself. So I would divide by 6 on both sides. And 25 and 6 do not have anything in common. So that means this is the area of the sector. That's what AOS is, area of the sector. But area is measured in units squared. So I put 25 over pi, 25 pi over 6 inches squared. And that is the area of just that piece of the circle. So I hope this helps. It makes it a lot easier. I know he didn't really explain it in the simplest terms, but hopefully this will help and make it easier for you. Again, if they don't give you the angle, use 360 to get the measurement of the angle that you're looking for. If they give you arc length or they give you area of a sector, that means you're going to have an X somewhere else, and you'll just cross multiply to solve for that as well.